Hello everyone, welcome to Shakehand with Life YouTube channel. I am Narender Sharma. In previous video, we have studied type 1 error and type 2 error while testing a hypothesis for decision making. The link of this video given in the I mark above and in the description below. Now in this video, we will study the cost of rejecting a null hypothesis when it happens to be true. It means how costly it could be when type 1 error is made in decision making. It could be the loss of $1 billion or it could be the loss of human life. Now the type 1 error is denoted by alpha, which defines the level of significance and the risk associated with the testing of a hypothesis. It is always in form of percentage like 1%, 5% or 10%. And it should be chosen with great care. It is usually determined in advance by the decision maker. For example, if the alpha is 5%, it implies the decision maker is willing to take 5% risk of rejecting a null hypothesis when it happens to be true. In other words, there are 5 chances in 100 that one could commit the error of rejecting a null hypothesis H0 when the null is true. Or in simple words, if you handshake with 100 persons in a day and any 5 of them infected with coronavirus, this implies you are taking 5% risk of getting coronavirus infection. It implies you are rejecting the possibility of getting infection of coronavirus through handshake. Therefore, to reduce the risk of committing type 1 error, the decision maker has to fix the value of alpha at lower level. Like if the alpha is 1%, it means that the maximum probability of committing type 1 error is 0.01. But with a fixed sample size, having n number of parts, when we try to reduce type 1 error, the probability of committing type 2 error increases. Therefore, there should be a trade-off between two types of errors, which means that the probability of making one type of error can only be reduced if we are willing to increase the probability of making the other type of error. To deal with this trade-off in business situations, the decision makers decide the appropriate level of type 1 error by examining the costs or penalties attached to both types of errors. For example, if type 1 error involves the time and trouble of reworking a batch of chemicals that should have been accepted, whereas type 2 error means taking a chance that an entire group of users of this chemical compound will be poisoned, then in such a situation, one should prefer a type 1 error to a type 2 error. Therefore, one must make all possible efforts to strike an adequate balance between type 1 and type 2 errors. Now we try to understand the risk of rejecting a null hypothesis when it is true at 4 different significance levels, such as level number 1 is supercritical level, level number 2 is a critical level, level number 3 is important level, and level number 4 is moderate level. Now let's start with supercritical level. Choose the value of alpha 0.001. It means the chances of making type 1 error is 0.1%. Here the confidence level means 1 minus alpha is 0.999, that is 99.9%. In this case, it costs more than $100 million or a large loss of life for rejecting a null hypothesis when it is true. For example, in case of testing a nuclear weapon or in case of launching a space mission. It implies for testing a nuclear weapon or launching a space mission, the nuclear scientists or space scientists can take only 0.1% risk of failure, because that could lead to a nuclear disaster or failure of a space mission. Now come to second level, which is critical level. Choose the value of alpha equal to 0.01. In this case, the chances of committing type 1 error are 1% and confidence level is 0.99. That means 1 minus alpha will be 0.99. That is 99%. In this case, it costs less than $100 million or a few lives for rejecting a null hypothesis when it happens to be true. For example, a car manufacturing company tests all quality parameters with less than 1% risk because that could lead to a car accident. Now come to at third level, which is also known as important level. At this level, the value of alpha is 0.05. In this case, the risk of committing type 1 error is 5%. Here the confidence level is 1 minus alpha, which is 0.995. That's 95%. In this case, it costs less than $100,000 for rejecting a null hypothesis when it is true. For example, rejecting a lot having defectives less than acceptance quality level. The result is reshorting and repacking cost. It will increase the reshorting and repacking cost. Now in fourth case, the risk is moderate in committing type 1 error. Hence, this level is known as moderate level. Here the significance level or the value of alpha is 0.10. In this case, the chances of committing an error of rejecting null hypothesis are 10%. And confidence level, which is 1 minus alpha, is 0.90. That is 90%. In this case, it costs less than $500 for rejecting a null hypothesis when it is true. For example, sampling for exit poll. It implies that about 10% people may lie when they asked whom they have voted. That's all in this video. If you have any doubt, then please do write your feedback in comment box below. Hit the like button if you like this video and share it among your friends and colleagues. Click here to visit on shakehandwithlife.in to download the course notes and ebooks in PDF. Click here to subscribe Shakehand with Life YouTube channel and press the bell to receive notifications of my latest videos. Thanks for watching. See you soon in my next video with a new topic.